Here's an interview from one of our past shows on Rock and Metal Revival. If you're interested in hearing full shows, go to our Facebook page and check out our list of affiliates for times and places where you can hear Rock and Metal Revival.
All right, that was Immigrant Song by Saxon doing a cover of the Zeppelin classic. And on the phone, I got none other than the singer from Saxon, Biff-Byford. How you doing, Biff?
Hi, I'm doing great, thank you.
Now, how'd you guys come up with the idea of doing a covers album, and how did you whittle down the song list to?
Yeah, well, it was we just had I just had a mad idea to do something fun, in the lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty severe here in the UK. Coming out of it a little bit now, but pretty severe. Yeah, no drinking, no entertainment, nothing really.
Oh yeah.
Go to a store, buy food. That was it. So we had this idea to get together and just do something fun. And I thought it would be good to do an album about our inspirations and influences and keep it honest and true, to what actually floated our boat back in the day when we were, in the 60s when we were teenagers. And I think we didn't really choose the number one songs of the bands. We sort of chose the numbers 7 and 10 and 4. So we didn't want to make it too obvious.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do rock and roll, Led Zeppelin. We didn't do Paranoid Sabbath. So and I wanted songs that stretched the bands a little bit. And the boys are fantastic musicians, and they played these songs really well. But I don't think some of the songs we'd never played them before. I certainly never sang Immigrant Song before, so it was a bit of a great thing to do. Really, see if I could do it.
Yeah.
All that stuff going on there.
Yeah.
So I had great fun actually playing vocals, and the band we lived together in this huge big house, and the whole story behind doing the album was great. I put a great story together and filmed how we actually did it. So it just was a good idea that got better as we did it. Yeah.
Yeah, I always like when bands pay tribute to what got them into it. Now, how many of these songs were songs that you played in a band before joining Saxon?
Not many. I think the song I very first played on stage at a youth club, back in the day, was Paint It Black.
Oh, okay.
And I played guitar and tried to sing it. That was it really. I must have been, I don't know, early teenager really. So that's brings back memories of learning to play that riff. Obviously didn't play it quite as good as the Rolling Stones, but at least I was trying.
Yeah, exactly. Now, when you put out your first album, the Saxon album, back in '79, did you ever picture that 40 years later, over 40 years, you'd still be doing it and still be putting out great music?
I don't think you think when you're just striving to succeed and to get acknowledged as a band, as songwriters. I don't think really. I think every day you take it a day at a time. You're just lucky that we're lucky that people like the band in the 80s, in 1980 for instance, and that launched us into a career which lasted 40 years. So I don't think you really look that far forward.
No.
Maybe there might be cleverer people than me do, but we didn't look forward at all. We just live for the day.
Yeah.
Seize the day, as the Romans used to say, carpe diem.
There you go. Now, I love the way all these songs, you kind of give them a little steroid boost, they're just got a little bit more attitude, a little bit more gruffiness. Now, I love your version of Stone Free, because you really took that to a different level, because, Hendrix's version was a little bit spacey, a little bit groovy, and you guys really, turn it up to 12, Where'd that idea for that song come from?
Well, obviously it's Paul Quinn's choice, that song. I mean, we had to do an Hendrix song from our past.
Oh.
I mean, Hendrix inspired so many guitars I wanted the thing, because I was producing the album, and I was able to sort of do the songs at a certain tempo, a certain edge to them.
Mm-hmm.
When Hendrix used to play that song really fast when he played it live, whether it's because he was speeding or not, or just excited, I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
But so we wanted to do a faster version of it, just to give it a bit more bite, a bit more power,
mm-hmm.
and a little bit more like Saxon, a little bit less groovy and a little bit more rock,
mm-hmm.
Which is what we did really. And I think it sounds great. Actually, it sounds quite fresh. Actually.
Yeah, exactly. Except the original version had a lot of cowbell. You got no cowbell in your version. Why? What happened?
No, we just stripped down the a lot of the songs, we stripped them down to the nucleus of the song.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't use any keyboards or anything. In fact, we didn't use any samples or profiling at all. We just used it, recorded it as it is, and mixed it as it was recorded, really. No, there's no cowbell because there's no organ on the Street King either.
Oh yeah,
and there's no piano on Hold the Line.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to keep it basic.
Mm-hmm.
5-piece band, 2 guitars, bass, drum, singer, and keep it straight down the line. Take the essence of the riff or the vocal or whatever inspired us back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
of that song. I think keeping to that. That production that I wanted, then I think we were able to pull it off, really.
Yeah, definitely. Now, when I was looking at the list of songs when I first got the album, I was like, the one song that threw me was the Hold the Line by Toto. I didn't know what to expect. But you guys, by doing the keyboard part on the guitar, it just sounds amazing. It just sounds totally cool. I wasn't expecting that. How'd that come about? Because that's like the one that.
Well, the song "Hold the Line," back in the day. But back in the day when we were listening to American band, we were listening to people like, listening to Kansas and bands, that sort of bands. The big sort of AOR American bands.
Mm-hmm.
But "Hold the Line," the actual guitar riff in "Hold the Line," inspired us to write some of our songs on Wheels of Steel, like 747, things like Princess of the Night, some of the big Saxon songs bands played on. They're all played in that style that Steve Lukather played on that song.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he played that style on Africa or Rosanna, but he definitely played that style because it's a very early Toto song.
Oh yeah.
And because we stripped it down again and transposed the piano parts to guitar, and I sang it very straight rock, very Saxon style, very melodic but not very soul-y,
Mm-hmm.
not a lot of R&B in there. So I was able to keep it straight without all the vocal ad-libs.
Yeah.
And we did the chorus pretty similar to what they do, maybe quite not so groovy, more straight down the line. But I actually like it, and Steve Lukather sends us a message saying him and the boys love the version, and thanks very much for doing it. So you can't get better than that, really, can you?
No, that's awesome. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Now we all missed Lemmy. So how fun was it to record a Motorhead tune?
Well, we've done a few. I've sung a few songs with Motorhead on stage back in the day, and on the last tour we did together. We've done quite a few Ace of Spades and Bombers and things. But the very first tour we did in 1979 on our first album was with Motorhead, and they were massive then in 1979. So we did the Bomber tour, actually. It was the Bomber tour. So I thought it was quite fitting to the Bomber. because they influenced us quite a lot in that style of guitar riff, the fast guitar riff. I mean, basically, they sort of used a lot of ZZ Top tracks and riffs and played them faster, so we like that, we love that style.
Yeah.
So, it worked really well, and turning that sort of style upside down and playing it that style. So yeah, we love that, and so we, they influence us quite a lot in that.
Cool. Now, were there any songs that didn't make the list that you wish would have?
Yeah, there was a few. There was a Uriah Heep. We were going to do a Uriah Heep song. We were going to do a Kiss song.
Yeah.
We were going to do, let's see, what else was there? There's a few bands, that we were going to do and we didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we did a mountain track that ended up on a B-side. And we did a UFO track as well that was on a B-side. So,
cool.
People can get hold of them still. They're still around on limited edition,
Oh, cool. Now, I'm always amazed when I hear new Saxon music, and your voice sounds even stronger than it did back in the day. And most bands, when as they get older, they start tuning down and everything. And you guys, your voice is still as strong as ever. How have you managed to do that when so many can't?
I don't know really. I think I'm quite, I know what to do with my voice, and luckily my voice does what I want it to do most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm pretty. I still have quite a sort of natural high crispness to my voice still. I haven't gone like down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm quite lucky that my voice hasn't. It's gone a little bit deeper as you get older, but it hasn't changed a massive amount.
No.
And because we do a lot of work, and I'm always pushing my voice, then I suppose it's always keeping in good shape.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. Now, is there any new Saxon material in the works?
Yeah, we've got the next thing that's coming out will be an album by me and my son that we've recorded.
Okay.
We've just finished that actually. That'll be the next thing that comes out with me on it. That's coming out in July. That's called the project that we're calling the band is Heavy Water, and the album will be called Red Brick City. After that, in February, will be the next Saxon album.
Okay.
So I've just finished doing the vocals on that. We're just doing guitar solos now. So that will be out in February. So the next release from our record company will be an album by me and my son.
Oh, cool. I watched that video of you and him playing Wheels of Steel. That was pretty cool. That must be kind of cool to be able to jam with your son.
Yeah, he's a pretty good guitarist. A great singer as well.
Yeah.
He's got a much so bluesy, soulful voice than me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great singer, and it's great working with him actually.
Cool. Now, 2020 being the 40th anniversary of Wheels of Steel, were there any plans, or are there any plans when everything opens up and touring can start again to do a tribute tour for Wheels of Steel?
Well, we've already done some of them. I mean, it's called the 40th anniversary tour. Castles and Eagles is what it's called.
Oh, okay.
But it's a huge stage set, as you can imagine, with an eagle and castles in there. So we've still got some of them planned for January. We were doing some in May, but we don't think the venues are going to be able to do the shows because they're quite big, 5,000-6,000 people indoors. So we're going to do them in January.
Cool.
And then the album comes out in February, and then we'll be hopefully touring around the planet next year. That's the plan.
Cool. Now, I really dug your solo album, School of Hard Knocks. Now, how do you determine, like, when you write songs, this is going to be this is a Saxon song, or I'm going to use this one on my on a solo project or something else?
Well,